Administration will reportedly use military sites across the country to detain undocumented migrants. According to the New York Times, they plan to establish a nationwide network of military detention facilities with a deportation hub at Fort Bliss military base in El Paso, Texas. The Times writes, quote, "For Trump officials, the plan helps address a shortage of space for holding vast numbers of people they hope to arrest and deport. But it also raises questions about redirecting military resources and training schedules." With us now, Hamed Al-Aziz. He is a Department of Homeland Security and immigration reporter with the New York Times.
Hamed, welcome. Man, I tell you, this piece, Simone touched on this in our last segment about, how all of the pressures that we're seeing generated by this administration with these, harebrained emails to federal employees to, tell us what you did, to what we heard yesterday at CPAC from Border Czar Tom Homan. Let's listen to what he had to say about sanctuary cities.
Into sanctuary cities, game on, because Pam Bondi's back into place. And Kash Patel is back running the FBI. I'm afraid I'm going to have a heart attack one of these days because it just keeps getting better. Sanctuary cities are a sanctuary for criminals.
That's just bogus lying straight up, But here's the point. To continue to pressure the narrative about the criminal element of the migrant community, now setting up these military-style detention centers. What's your reporting telling you about how this is playing out in the various states? And what are some of the signs that there may be some resistance to this idea?
Well, I think what the military sites provides the Trump administration is extra detention beds, extra detention facilities. Right now, ICE is limited with the funding that they have from Congress. They can only hold around 40,000 immigrants per day. So that doesn't really help the Trump administration and their grand goals of millions of deportations or even hundreds of thousands of deportations. So they need extra space. But when you're looking at the sanctuary city issue, I think the reason they're pressuring the sanctuary cities is the way to get deportations up is to go into jails and pick up immigrants from jails. It's easier, it's more efficient, and that's the way the Obama administration boosted their numbers. So I think that's ultimately where a lot of this pressure is coming from, is that Tom Homan, who served in the Obama administration, was as a career official during that time, understands that getting into the jails is the only way this administration is going to boost their numbers.
Hamed, what is currently happening oftentimes feels like something out of a movie, but it is real life. You had a byline on a story from Wednesday, and the headline was "Migrants Deported to Panama Under Trump Plan Detained in Remote Jungle Camp." It reads, some, including a group of Iranian Christians and a man from China, told the New York Times that they risk reprisals if returned to their native countries and have refused to sign documents that would pave the way for their repatriation. Under Iranian law, converting from Islam is considered apostasy and is a crime punishable by death. Repatriation for folks out there is basically being sent back. You've got that happening, and then you've also got the Trump administration this week canceling temporary protected status for Haitians in this country who have been, they were legally here under temporary protected status, and because the Trump administration has now changed the policy, those folks are now considered undocumented. Therefore, under the Trump administration, they are here. They are criminals, and people from Haiti are being gone after. Can you just talk about what is really happening? Because I think people think, oh, you know what? This is just people who are crossing the border in Mexico, and that is not what we're talking about here exclusively. This is across the board.
What the Trump administration is trying to do is really attack the immigration system in all facets, right? They want to close the border and not allow people to seek asylum at the southern border. At the same time, they are very skeptical of these programs, such as temporary protected status, and are looking for ways to strip people of this status. And ultimately, what that means is more people potentially in the country who are undocumented, and a border that doesn't allow for people to come here and seek protection and asylum, like those Iranians who had escaped their country and were looking for a place to practice their religion, Christianity, freely.
I want to pick up on the reporting from Wednesday with your reporting from Tuesday. Hopefully we have some of those images of folks who are actually trapped inside a hotel in Panama. You can see them there. Lawyers in Panama say it is illegal to detain people without a court order for more than 24 hours. Yet 350 migrants deported by the United States on 3 military planes have been locked in a soaring glass-paneled hotel in Panama City for nearly a week while officials ready a camp near the jungle. I think the images that you have managed to capture are important. I think the story that you are telling here, Hamed, is important. These are people who lived in our community. These are people who escaped their home country because home was not a safe place. And now the United States, a place that has prided itself on being a place of refuge and safety for those around the world, is sending these people back home to danger. That is the reality of what this administration has chosen to do. As you spoke with some of those migrants, as you have spoken with some of their families, talk to me about the ties they have to communities here in the United States.
Well, I think one thing that's really important is that these people, particularly the Iranian Christians, they came to the United States because they saw a place to practice a religion freely. They saw opportunity here, and they saw a chance to live under a government that would allow them to express themselves freely, unlike in Iran. But ultimately, this group of people, they had recently crossed the border. They were turned back because under the Trump administration, there is no access to asylum at the southern border. There is no opportunity for them to seek protection in the United States. And now they're in Panama, this unprecedented deportation flight. They're in Panama.
Hamed Ali Aziz, thank you so much for bringing us your reporting.